Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market. But let me go ahead and give my disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth. And yes, the stock market is just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So today we're going to start out with Inside Day Candles, and Kroger is first on the list. And normally I like to give the trigger, meaning if it breaks above this level, then this is our target to the upside. So if by chance Kroger KR should break above 55.63, the target to the upside is 55.48. Now to the downside, if we break under 55.15, we have a downside target of 54.94. So if you trade Kroger today, y'all know I always say trade carefully. MOS is an inside day candle above 26.64, gives us an upside target of 26.86. If we break under 26.14, 25.68 is the target for MOS. It is an inside day candle. It has been trading in a zone for us. So if you trade MOS, I always say, y'all, trade carefully. In the market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. Now, Microsoft MSFT is an inside day candle, and we are very much close to reaching that target for today pre-market. Let's say that, right? So if by chance we break above the 417.21, which we have made a high of 417.25, then the target would be 417.34. So we still have a ways to go. Now, if we break that 417.34, we will have trouble around the 417.71, which is the ATR trailing stop. So Microsoft can keep running today. So again, even though we're close to that target, we could very well keep moving. And let's see how much Microsoft normally moves per day in either direction. $6.08, right? So if again, you trade Microsoft, trade carefully. Now, to the downside, if we break under 413.26, we have a downside target of 413.16. So if you trade Microsoft today, trade carefully. Netflix was just in my mind, I'm thinking, right? So now, Oracle, ORCL, is an inside day candle above 177.08, gives us an upside target of 178.33. Under 174.38 gives us a downside target of 174.19. So if you trade Oracle ORCL today, it is an inside day candle. And again, I say trade carefully. QQQ is an inside day candle. It too has reached the target to the upside. So the breakthrough was 494.37. Target was 494.57. We have made a pre-market high of 495.15. Let's see how much QQQ normally moves per day. The ATR is $6.13. That means we could very well continue climbing to the upside. So if you trade QQQ today, it is an inside day candle. We do have a little room to go, to the upside before the ATR is met. So trade carefully. Now, because it's up now does not mean that we can't come back to the downside. So if by chance we break under, we got a lot of layers of support here. If by chance we break under this level of 493.01, just know, we can come back to the 491.05. Under 491.05, we could come back through this downside trigger for the inside day under 490.13. And if we break under the 490.13, the downside target is 489.45. So these are inside day candles for today. And SQQQ is also an inside day candle. Above 732 gives us an upside target of 734. Not that far away, but the downside, we have broken through that trigger. 713 gave us a downside target of 711, right? But look where price is for SQQQ. We're finding support right here on this line. So if you trade SQQQ, again, I say trade carefully. It is creating a gathering spot for us here. We could very well find support and bounce back to the upside. Now, it would definitely need to break back above that $7.12 or 713, only to have trouble going back to the upside at 715, 716, 719. So those are going to be trouble places for QQQ. So if you trade any of these are inside day candles, right? And that just gives us helps us build our watch list, and it kind of gives us an idea if it break this level, this is the price target. So let's look at the SPY today. Right now, SPY is interesting. We closed at 579.58, pre-market high 580.93, right? So it is creating a gathering spot for us. Let's see if I can make that a little, there we are. It is creating a gathering spot for us as of right now. Price is in this area. So if we break that 580, 580.68, make sure. 580.68, we could very well have trouble around 580.82 and 580.93, which is our pre-market high. So SPY could very well keep moving, let's say that, right? So let's see how much the SPY normally moves on average per day, and disregard all of this, y'all. I just like the SPY. $4.94. If it normally moves $4.94 in either direction. So we could very well continue climbing to the upside, $4.93 or 94 cents. So where the trouble places to the downside for the SPY, if by chance we lose support at this 5 EMA 580.46 area, we can have trouble here, 580.12, again at 579.91, which you could see here that 20 EMA is right there at that line. Under this level, we can have trouble at 579.73. Now, if we break this level of support, 579.73 or 74 area for the SPY, we can have trouble again around 579.45, under 579.45, 579.13. which is the ATR trailing stop and the 50 EMA. So under this level of 579, let's say 08 area, we could very well come back down to this level here of 577.71, 577.62, 577.04 or 05 to 576.91. Those are going to be support places for the SPY. And again, I look at support and resistance on a much smaller scale, because when I'm in the trade, I want to know where I'm going to have trouble. And yes, I do look at the overall, higher amount, the higher, but however, looking at the smaller just works for me. Let me say that. So again, for the SPY, under 577.62, 577.06, under 577.06, 576.91, 576.39, and 576.11. I would definitely watch that 576 level for the SPY. If we break the 576.11, we can have trouble or support around 575.71. So if by chance you trade the SPY today, trade carefully. I say often, anything is possible, nothing is guaranteed. So we are looking at Tesla, and I always say Tesla is Tesla, right? So Tesla closed at 217.80, and as you can see, this is our gathering spot right here. Where are the trouble places for Tesla? To the upside, if by chance we, break through this 5 EMA as of now, which is around, let's see, the 220.40, 220.60 area, I would definitely watch that for Tesla. We could possibly have trouble here at 222.08, 222.98, above 222.98, 223.93, above 223.93, 224.57, again at 225.21, 226.14 or 226.13. Those are going to be trouble places for Tesla to the upside. Now, if by chance we break under, let's see, if by chance we break under this level here of 219.68, we could have trouble or support around 217.99, again at 217.30, and under 217.30, 215.99, 214.99, and 214.57, under 214.57, 213.98. And those are going to be trouble places to the upside and to the downside for Tesla. And Tesla normally moves, I say on average now, about $10.77. However, Tesla normally exceeds its ATR to the upside or to the downside. So if by chance you trade Tesla today, trade carefully. I can say often, y'all, in the market, anything is possible. Nothing is guaranteed. So we are now looking at AMD. AMD closed at 167.89. As you can see, we're finding support here at this 168.51. It's creating a gathering spot. So we've been at this area here before. So I would definitely watch to the upside above it. We need to break above 168.61, above 168.61, 168.89, above that 169.23, 169.54, above 169.54, 170, above the 170, 170.33, above 170.33, 170.89, again at 171.38, above the 171.38, 172.05. Those are going to be trouble places for AMD to the upside. Now to the downside, it will definitely, we have a lot of support areas here in this zone here, so it will need to break under this level of 167.54. Why? Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers of support here. In my opinion, I will call that a strong support area. Under the 167.54, we can find support at 166.79, 166.44, 165.69, 165.37, 164.87, and 164.55, 164.32. Those are trouble places to the downside for AMD. Again, I would definitely, I say trade carefully, but under that 166.50 is the ATR trailing stop. So if we break that, I would definitely be careful to the, to watching those levels to the downside for AMD. So again, if you trade AMD, trade carefully today. Let's look at NVIDIA just to see where we are today. NVIDIA just doing what it does, right? So it's creating a zone for us, a gathering spot. We broke out of it here to move to the upside. Looks like we're getting rejected at a level we had marked at 136.42. Now, where the trouble places beyond the 136.42 area, we could have trouble around 137.14. If we break the 137.14, we will have trouble somewhere around 139.12. Beyond the 139.12, we can find trouble here at 140.39. Above the 140.39, it will be interesting for NVIDIA. Let's say that. So those are trouble places to the upside for NVIDIA. Now to the downside, under 135.67, we can find support here at 135.37. Again at 134.90. Under 134.90, we have an ATR trailing stop and the 50 EMA here. And that's around 134.79. If we break that 134.79, 134.44, and as you can see, that 134.44 area, that's where price has been for a while. So if we break this level, I would say, trade carefully. Again, under 134.44, we can come back to this level of 133.70, under 133.70, 132.90. 132.89 for NVIDIA. Again, to the upside or to the downside, I say trade carefully. NVIDIA normally moves $4.63 per day. That could be in either direction, and it wouldn't surprise me to see us back, in this zone, being that it was a gathering spot. It's been at this place for a while. Seems like we're having trouble here. So again, y'all, trade carefully today, and once it goes against your why, get out. Live to trade another day. And I always say, don't be afraid to get out, because it takes discipline to get out. Set your stop losses, and once if you don't use stop losses, let me get my words right, if you don't use the stop loss and do a mental loss, don't be afraid to take a small loss so that you can go back and get a bigger gain. Let's say that. Small losses, you can go back and make that back versus just wiping out your account. So once it goes against your why, get out. Live to trade another day. So let's look at Netflix really quick just to see where we are today. Netflix too is trading in a gathering spot here. 726.24 is the level to the upside. If we break that, we can have trouble here around the 728.62 and 729.35. If we break the 729.35, we can have trouble at 731.31. Above 731.31, 734.39. If we break that level, I would watch the 736.17 for Netflix. Now to the downside, if by chance we break under this level here of say around 724.28, we could find support here at 722.74. Under 722.74, we can have a support area around 721.59. Under 721.59, 720.26. This is a previous gathering spot here. So I would definitely watch this level. We have 1, 2, 3 levels of support for Netflix. If by chance we come down to the 718.57 and 717.98 and this area of 718.47, that's a strong area of support. If we break this level, we could very well come back to 715.49. So what I was saying was this here is a strong level of support for Netflix, and if we break this 718 04 area, we can come back to 715.40. So yeah, y'all, again, I hope these videos are very, very helpful, and I hope that everyone have a very profitable and a very, very productive day today. I really need to get my words right? So if you could please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Why? Because we learn and we grow together. And I always like to leave you with this, y'all. Be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.